The paid-off college condo. My name is Linda Ramirez, and for 25 years, I worked 12-hour swings as an ICU nurse in downtown Chicago. Wind, snow, pandemics, nothing stopped me from clocking in. Every overtime shift, every skipped vacation, every pair of compression socks worn thin went into one goal: making sure my only child, Ethan, would never have to scramble for rent the way I did when I was raising him alone. Ethan was a quiet, sweet boy with big dreams of becoming an architect. When he got accepted to the University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign, I was prouder than I'd ever been in my life. But campus housing was brutal, and off-campus apartments near campus ran $1,200 to $1,500 a month for a bedroom he'd share with strangers. I did the math. 4 years of that would be over $60,000, money he'd have to borrow on top of tuition. So I made a decision that felt monumental and completely natural at the same time. I cashed in my small 401k, took out a second mortgage on my little bungalow in Logan Square, and bought a 2-bedroom condo 3 blocks from the engineering quad. Paid cash. No loan, no interest, no rent. $285,000 gone in one closing, but the deed came back with only my name on it. I remember holding that paper in my hands and thinking, this is the best thing I'll ever do. I handed Ethan the keys the day he moved in. "This is yours for all 4 years," I told him, trying not to cry. "Study hard, eat something green once in a while, and don't let roommates destroy my hardwood floors." He hugged me so tight I felt his ribs. "Mom, I can't believe you did this. I promise I'll take care of it." For the first 2 years, everything was perfect. I'd drive down from Chicago once a month with groceries, laundry detergent, and a pan of homemade enchiladas. Ethan would give me the grand tour of his latest design projects pinned to the walls. His roommates, 2 polite engineering majors, always thanked me for the food. I'd sleep in the second bedroom, wake up to the smell of coffee he'd brew for me, and drive home feeling like the luckiest mother alive. Senior year, Ethan met Brooke. Brooke was beautiful in that effortless Instagram way. Long blonde hair, always in athleisure, interning at a big architecture firm in Chicago. She started spending weekends at the condo, then weeks, then moved in completely after graduation when Ethan landed his first job in the city. I liked her at first. She was ambitious, called me Linda instead of Mrs. Ramirez, and posted photos of my enchiladas with heart emojis. When Ethan proposed 6 months later, I threw them an engagement party at the condo. I paid for catering, flowers, the whole thing. Brooke hugged me and whispered, "You're gonna love being part of our family." The wedding was small and lovely. I walked Ethan down the aisle since his father had never been in the picture. At the reception, I stood up and gave a toast. "And one last gift," I said, holding up the spare key to the condo. "Since you're both starting your careers in Chicago now, the condo's yours. No rent, no mortgage, just build your life together." Everyone clapped. Brooke cried pretty tears. Ethan mouthed, "Thank you, Mom," across the room. I never signed a new deed. I'd meant to. There was talk of adding them to the title eventually, but life got busy. Ethan started his job, Brooke got promoted, they were planning renovations. I figured there was no rush. We were family. Trust was enough. The shift was so gradual, I almost missed it. At first, it was little things. I'd text, "Driving down Saturday with groceries, need anything?" And get back, "Actually, we have plans, maybe next weekend?" Next weekend became next month. Then the key I had stopped working. I stood outside the building one October Saturday with bags of Ethan's favorite coffee and a winter coat he'd left at my house, buzzing the intercom. No answer. I called. Brooke picked up. "Oh, Linda, we had the locks changed for security. There's been break-ins in the neighborhood. We'll get you a new key soon." Soon turned into never. Thanksgiving came. For the first time in 23 years, I didn't cook for Ethan. They went to Brooke's parents in Naperville instead. "Her mom really wants to host this year," Ethan said on the phone, sounding apologetic. "We'll do Christmas with you, promise." Christmas got postponed because Brooke's firm had a big deadline, then postponed again because they caught a bug. By spring, my visits had gone from monthly to 0. When I did see them, neutral ground like a restaurant, Brooke dominated the conversation with stories about their renovations, new quartz counters, custom built-ins, smart lighting, all paid for with their salaries, she was sure to mention. I nodded and smiled and paid the bill. The final straw came in August, 2 years after the wedding. My bungalow's furnace died. The repair was going to take 3 weeks, and the house would be unlivable while they replaced ductwork. I called Ethan. "Honey, my heat's out and they have to tear up the floors. Would it be okay if I stayed in the second bedroom at the condo for a couple weeks? I'll be at work most of the time anyway." There was a long pause. I heard Brooke's voice in the background, low and sharp. "Mom," Ethan said carefully, "that's not great timing. Brooke's been really stressed at work and we're trying to keep the place calm. Maybe you could stay with Aunt Teresa." Aunt Teresa lived in a 1-bedroom senior apartment in Cicero. "Ethan, I own the condo. I paid for it. I'm not asking to move in permanently, just a few weeks while my house is fixed." Another pause, more murmuring. "Mom, legally it's complicated. You gave it to us as a gift." Brooke looked it up. "Verbal gifts of real estate can be binding in Illinois. We'd rather you didn't stay right now. It's our space." I don't remember hanging up. I just remember standing in my kitchen, holding a dead phone, furnace parts scattered on the floor around me, feeling like someone had punched me in the sternum. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept replaying his words. Verbal gifts can be binding. Brooke looked it up. At 3 a.m., I got out of bed and opened my fireproof safe. There was the original deed from 2018, my name alone in bold letters. There was no quitclaim deed, no transfer document, nothing filed with Champaign County showing Ethan or Brooke as owners. I'd never signed anything over. The condo was still mine. I sat on the floor of my bedroom and cried. Not pretty tears, but ugly, gulping sobs for the boy who used to fall asleep on my shoulder during late shifts when I carried him home from the babysitter. The next morning, I called in sick to work for the first time in 15 years and drove to Champaign. I parked across the street from the building, my building. The flower boxes I'd planted were gone, replaced by sleek black planters. The awning I'd picked out had been repainted a trendy charcoal gray. I sat there for an hour, watching young students come and go, until I saw Brooke leave for work in her white Audi, a car I knew they could barely afford. Then I called a locksmith I found online who advertised no questions asked for owners. He met me at the door with a bored expression. I showed him my driver's license, the deed, property tax bills addressed to me, everything. "Lady, this is the cleanest ownership proof I've seen all year," he said, and had the door open in 90 seconds. Inside, the condo smelled like someone else's life. Gone were Ethan's architectural models and my mismatched furniture. Everything was white and gray and minimalist. My grandmother's hutch had been replaced by a glossy IKEA unit. The second bedroom, the one I'd slept in 100 times, was now Brooke's home office with a neon "Girl Boss" sign on the wall. I walked through every room, taking photos on my phone. Then I sat on the couch that wasn't mine and waited. They came home together around 6 p.m. The door opened and Ethan's voice called, "Babe, why is the door unlocked?" He stopped when he saw me. Brooke appeared behind him, face tightening. "Linda, you can't just break in." "I didn't break in," I said, holding up my phone with the deed displayed. "I'm the legal owner. I had the locks changed back." Ethan's mouth opened, closed. "Mom, we need to talk about this calmly." "No," I said. The word came out steady, which surprised me. We needed to talk calmly when I asked to stay here for 2 weeks, and you told me this wasn't my space anymore. We needed to talk when you decided a verbal promise at a wedding toast meant I surrendered my legal rights. but you didn't want to talk then. Brooke stepped forward. We have texts, Linda. You said it was ours. We've spent over $40,000 improving the property in reliance on your gift. That's promissory estoppel. Our lawyer— You don't have a lawyer yet, I said, but I do. I'd spent the afternoon on the phone with Sarah Park, a real estate attorney whose son I'd taken care of in the ICU after a car accident. She owed me more than a favor. She's drafting an eviction notice as we speak. You have 30 days to vacate. Ethan went pale. Mom, you can't be serious. Where are we supposed to go? That's not my problem anymore, I said. You're adults. You told me this was your space. Congratulations. Now you get to find one. Brooke's voice rose. This is insane. We're family. No, I said again. Family doesn't lock their mother out of the home she paid for. Family doesn't threaten legal action when asked for basic kindness. You wanted independence. You have it. I stood up. I'll be back with the sheriff in 30 days. Anything left behind goes to the curb. I walked out while they were still sputtering. The next 4 weeks were a masterclass in manipulation. First came the angry texts from both of them. Then the guilt trips. How can you do this when we're trying to save for a house? Then the public smear campaign. Brooke posted a tearful Instagram story about complicated family dynamics and losing the home we poured our hearts into. Friends I hadn't spoken to in years texted me asking if I was okay, implying I'd gone off the deep end. Ethan showed up to my bungalow one night with flowers and a script. Mom, let's compromise. We'll pay you rent, $1,000 a month. That's fair market. I almost laughed. Fair market for that unit was $2,200. No. We'll put your name back on the deed with ours.
Too late. He cried then, real tears. Part of me wanted to hug him like when he was 8 and skinned his knee, but I remembered the dead silence when I'd needed help. I love you, I said, but I will never trust you again, and trust was the only thing I had left to give. The eviction date came. I didn't go, Sarah advised against it, but the property manager I hired sent photos. Ethan and Brooke loading a U-Haul while neighbors watched. They'd found a 1-bedroom in Rogers Park for $1,800 a month, almost twice what Ethan made after taxes. I gave the condo a deep clean, replaced the awful gray paint with warm cream again, and listed it for rent. The new tenants are 3 grad students in public health. They invited me over for tamales last week to thank me for keeping the rent reasonable. One of them lost her mom young. We talked for hours. 6 months have passed. Ethan texts occasionally, short messages, thinking of you, hope you're well. I don't reply. Brooke's Instagram went private after the truth trickled out among mutual friends, that the condo was never legally theirs, that they'd changed the locks on me first. I took the rental income and finally booked the trip to Mexico I'd been putting off since Ethan was born. I walked on beaches he'll never see with me, ate meals without checking my phone, slept without wondering if my son still loved me. Some nights I miss the boy he was, but I don't miss the woman I'd become if I'd let them keep treating me like a doormat. The condo is mine again. The deed still has only my name. This time, I'm keeping it that way. Love isn't endless sacrifice. Sometimes love is saying enough and meaning it.